the report came out that the 49ers had voided his deal in training camp for reasons we didn't know. It turns out it was, not going along with the team's rehab process, missing meetings, all that kind of stuff. Don't know if the Niners are going to continue trying to get more out of him as far as guaranteed money. Kyle's trying to say like, oh, he's going to come if maybe there's a chance he can come back, and we're still trying to work towards that kind of resolution. How you feeling about that, man? Like one thing is that me and Sterling disagreed on is I didn't think he was coming back this year. No. I did not think he was coming back. And Sterling was like, no, it's going a certain way. That's just how it works. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but like there's differing tones from different people. So I don't know.
So when the Niners voided all of his guaranteed money, so essentially they can pretty much walk away from his contract and not have to worry about the guaranteed money. It's going to save them a fuck ton of money. It'll save them $84 million over the next 3 seasons. That's going to allow them to go out and get another premier pass rusher. And I think that's what they're going to do. And I would not be shocked if they at least kick the tires on to see what Trey Hendrickson wants. I could see them going Trey Hendrickson, because imagine having Trey Hendrickson and Nick Bosa.
Joey Bosa.
He's having a good year. He's actually been healthy this year. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, they're going to save a lot of money on that. But my thing is this. The whole thing is fucking weird. The news breaks. We find out about it. Everyone's shocked. Brandon Aiyuk doesn't even file a grievance.
No.
He says just let it happen. Like, is that how bad he wants out of here? Is it that bad in Santa Clara on the Niners that Brandon Aiyuk is willing to give up all of his guaranteed money just to be released and out of here by the end of the season? I don't know. It's crazy to think about, right?
Maybe he doesn't care about winning. Maybe he just cares about getting paid. He doesn't have.
Well, I mean, I would say it's the opposite. I think he cares about winning and not about getting paid because he gave up all of his guaranteed money. Most people, I'm talking about 99% of all NFL players would say, you sign me this contract, you need to trade me. I want to be traded. Nobody gives up all that money by not showing up to team practices, showing up to team activities, team meetings. Like, he literally ghosted them.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't think that they would do this. Maybe he didn't think, oh, they won't void my contract. But they did. They voided all of his guaranteed money. So he's going to be, let me see. I had the breakdown from Tim Cavalcante. It was so good, too. I was going to share it today. I was going to do a stream with Tyler about this, and then work ended up taking up all my time.
One of the things, though, is that was a contentious contract negotiation. And there was a point in time where they were going to trade him. And then the report is that Shanahan rushed up to his office and said, he's going to take the deal. Don't trade him. And they didn't trade him. And like all the talk, regardless of who you talk to, is that the Niners are never happy with that deal. The front office was never happy with that deal. And I'll be honest with you, I think the 49ers have been looking the right way to get out of that deal. And boy, oh boy, did they jump on it as soon as it happened.
Okay, here's the breakdown that'll kind of make things a little easier to understand. To make it simple, if Aiyuk is released without a post-June designation, we saw this last year or a couple years ago with Eric Armstead, the 2026 dead cap hit is about $29 million. Okay, they're not going to, no way. If Aiyuk is released with a post-June 1st designation, dead cap hit is about $8 million. In 2026, in 2026, and then 2027, it's $21 million. If he's still on the team, he'll count for about $15 million on the 2026 cap. So, obviously, if they're going to move off of him, they're going to go with the June 1st, post-June 1st designation and go that route.
Right.
Which we saw this with Eric Armstead.
Yep.
And then he was essentially released from his contract, and then he went to go sign somewhere else. And I think that's what they're doing That's what they're going to do with Brandon Aiyuk. And I like that he put this out there because then it gives you a little more clarity on what the fuck is actually happening here. Because, look, there could be a team that says, hey, I want to trade for him.
Right.
And I want to do it before your June 1st designation because I want first dibs at trying to sign this guy. But here's the problem. Brandon Aiyuk is not playing. He has very little value.
Yeah.
Now, Sterling's saying he's going to come back. Mike Garafolo says, he might be coming, he's trying to come back. I don't think he's going to come back.
Why?
Why would he come back?
Why would you want him back?
He has no guaranteed money. What if he goes out there and tears his ACL? What if he goes out there and hurts himself?
Right. Here's the thing, too, is like, I totally forgot what I was going to say. As soon as I said that, it disappeared out of my brain. Go ahead. Keep going.
But why would you come back without any guaranteed money?
Right.
If all that guaranteed money was still on the fucking table, I would say, yeah, I'm going to come back. I'm going to do the best I can to ball out on the games that are left. And then when the season's over, the day after the fucking Super Bowl, I'm going to say, I want to be traded. Trade me. I don't want to be here anymore because I want to keep all my money.
It doesn't make any sense because Richard Sherman said you're screwing yourself. You're not fighting for the money. And then, first of all, you're coming off of a massive, massive injury. Your whole knee was imploded, man. You lost it all. ACL, MCL, PCL, meniscus, you name it, he tore it. Okay? So no team in their right freaking mind is going to say, oh, Brandon Aiyuk's a free agent. I'm going to sign him to the biggest contract we can for a wide receiver. No, you know what's going to happen? They're going to go, let's do the medicals. Let's take a look at him. We'll give you a 2-year deal, $18 million per. There you go. Thanks.
That's what it gets. That I don't. And
if you would have been smart, they could trade him and get value for him, and a team that signs him would have to promise to renegotiate or something and take it on his money or whatever. He's not going to get that. Richard Sherman thinks it's stupid business.
They should have traded him back when they were going to trade him to the Browns or the Steelers, whoever the fuck he was. The Steelers.
I would have took. Who were they going to trade us? Mickens?
No, Pickens. No.
No. Who was Pickens?
They were going to get. What I've heard is that it was supposed to be a second round pick and a third round pick in last year's draft.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been fucking amazing. I was like, dude, this is what Sterling reported. That his source said that it was a second and third round pick. I was like, dude, I would have done it in a heartbeat. I mean, look, they were a little shorthanded last year, but even when Aiyuk was healthy, he was a non-factor because he was out of shape. You could tell. They should have made that trade. They should have just moved off of Brandon Aiyuk immediately. That would have been a great trade to benefit both teams. But this, I mean, look, this is great. This is great news for San Francisco. They're going to gain $84 million over the next 3 seasons. That's going to allow them to go out and get a premier player. I'm saying it's a premier pass rusher because you know how much they love their premier pass rushers. I mean, they might even go for a defensive tackle. I still think Trey Hendrickson, because they showed so much interest in him at the trade deadline. I think they would love to have him on the team.
Love that. So
I think they're going to pivot off of Brandon Aiyuk, and they're going to probably sign a premier pass rusher.
They need to.
And then I think that in the draft, first round, they're going to get a wide receiver.
Also
compliment
agree.
Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
But it doesn't make any sense why Aiyuk would let himself get into the situation where he's giving up all of his guaranteed money.
Doesn't make any sense.
And then why go out on the field? Imagine if he goes out there and something like what happened to Fred Warner. Someone rolls over his ankle and breaks his ankle. You know what I mean? And then it's like, oh my God, this guy. Now he's out for who knows how long. And he's going to try to look. My thing is that it really feels like there's, and this is more of like a tinfoil hat, but to me, it feels like there's some kind of guarantee out there it feels like there's something there that says, hey, look, no matter what, maybe Jaden Daniels is saying, hey, dude, we'll sign you.
Yeah, front office is talking to him, yeah.
Yeah. Is it tampering? I don't know. Maybe. But I think there has to be some kind of assurance in why he let this happen, why he ghosted the Niners and the training staff and all that. It's a weird situation. And when Kyle finally talks and when he's questioned about it, he says, oh, no, the whole idea is for him to come back. And he hasn't been cleared yet. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Now he's coming back? You just told me he lost his guaranteed money back in preseason.
Yeah.
It happened so long ago. And now you're telling me he's still going to come back? If I'm Brandon Aiyuk, I'm like, why would I want to come back?
If I'm them, I would be like, why in the world would you want a cancer like that to come? Why? Because he gives you an extra weapon that you're not going to throw to if Brock Purdy's struggling? Like, what's happening?
And then if he comes back, how effective is he going to be? Is he all of a sudden going to be like, tearing the laces off the ball? You know what I mean? Is he going to be like that good? Probably not.
No.
You're going to see him as much as you see Jordan Watkins and Ricky Pearsall now, which is like a fucking fat zero. Pearsall had 2 catches for like negative yards or some shit. I was like, whoa, okay. What was that about? Pearsall had 2 catches for 6 yards. That's
funny. That's
our number one receiver.
Kruger said that he looked amazing in training camp.
He probably did.
Him and Brock were like that was another thing where he said because he was so healthy in training camp, Brock, that like one of the differences that he sees now and he knows that something's wrong is just how he looked and how he looked with this offense. So take that with a grain of salt if you want.